So this is Marcus the Fingaz with another Syncrets To Success episode. This is episode 33. Hopefully you can hear me now. I think I was having some audio issues, but if you can't hear me, give me a thumbs up or something in the chat if I can see there. If you can hear me. And I'm talking about leaving a sync library. And in this particular episode, why I had to make a decision literally today to ask if my catalog could be removed from one library that I work with. Of course, I won't mention the library. Before we get into that, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to this. This is episode 33 of Syncrets To Success. Be sure to join the Facebook group, Syncrets To Success on Facebook. And also, this episode is sponsored by ASTS. Check out ASTS for some great sounds that you can use in your music productions, sync licensing, trailer music. There will be a link in the description, and you can also use the code Syncrets To Success for 20% off. Thank you, Singya, for confirming that you can hear me now. Sorry about the first few minutes. I was having my phone was connected to my Bluetooth, and I forgot about all that, but we're good to go. So shout out to ASTS for sponsoring this episode. Click the link in the description below for 20% off and check out the sounds and stuff they have. Now, what I was talking about is I had to ask a library to leave their catalog literally this morning. There's some frustrations that I was having, and one of the downsides of sync is sometimes you will get frustrated. So this is not the frustration of I'm not getting any placements, you're not pitching my music, because a lot of that we don't know what they're doing with our music. But this was I wasn't getting support I needed from this particular library, and I won't mention the name, of course. They are a great library, they get some great placements, but just for me personally, having my music in this catalog, and I was offering them music exclusively, and I just don't feel like I was getting the service and support I needed. So what happened was, back in February, I ran into the first issue with this library where I was trying to submit to an opportunity and I couldn't submit because there are limitations to how many things you can have pending in their library, and I didn't know that. So I found that out back in February, and I was like, okay, now I know the limitations. But what happened was, after my catalog sort of cleared out and all the things got either accepted or rejected, and I had a clear sort of queue there, I still couldn't submit to new opportunities, and I was just trying to figure out why. And every once in a while, they would let me submit, and then they wouldn't let me submit. And there was a huge opportunity this past weekend that I was trying to submit to. I worked with collaborated with some artists that helped to get these songs over the finish line, and I was trying to submit on the platform, and again, I got the error where I couldn't submit any more music, even though my queue was cleared and everything. So of course, there's two sides to every story. This is just my side. I'm sure they have their side. But this particular library, again, they're a great library. It's just I finally reached out to them and was just like, hey, I've been dealing with this issue since February. I've been trying to create custom tracks for these opportunities, and I've been trying to submit, and I've had issues submitting. And unfortunately, at this time, I feel like my music isn't would be better served if I take it somewhere else. So I politely asked if I can have my music back. Again, I did sign these songs exclusively to this library, and they were gracious enough to give me the songs back. It wasn't like 300 songs. I think it would have been more of an issue if I had that. It was like less than 20, so it wasn't a huge catalog I had with them. Didn't get really any placements. I've been with them for maybe a year or 2 years. So again, not enough time to really try to secure a bunch of placements with this particular library. But the songs I had in their library, a lot of them were custom, and they're great songs. So happy to get them back. Especially I got some reggaeton ones that I'm loving to get back. Yeah, so that's the issue with that library. And that's some issues that you might have, where it's like you have your music in a library. You might have some circumstances where it just doesn't work out with that particular library. And it could be a great library. They could be getting placements with all the biggest brands. But again, there's hundreds of libraries out there. And that happens. I've had libraries over the last year that have shut down, and things didn't work out on their business end, and they're like, you get your music back. So things happen in this space. I did, leave the door open, like, hey, hopefully we can, collaborate in the future. Looking forward to. I know the library is making changes over the next few months, so I'm hoping that that's for the better, and happy to try to rejoin and get back in the fold when that happens. But until then, I got a couple of trailer tracks back that I would like to submit to another library. Got some of the reggaeton stuff back, some hip hop stuff, some pop stuff. So I got a lot of my like stuff that was just collecting digital dust there that I'm loving to get back, and hopefully can pitch to other opportunities. So that is the reality of sync. There's good, there's bad. There's placements that you can land, overnight, and then there's opportunities where you might work with certain people, collaborators, libraries, and it's like, yeah, I'll try to get through this project with you, but I know I don't want to work with you again. Definitely commit to what you commit to. If you commit to working on a project, just know that moving forward, you might not be able to work with that person or that company or that group again. I'm not saying that I won't be able to work with this particular company ever again. It's just that right now, from the frustration that I've been personally feeling when I know the effort that me and my collaborators are putting into making music is not really, I can't send it. It's not being accepted the way that we would hope for it to be accepted by this one library. What's crazy is I submitted one of the songs to another library yesterday before they even confirmed that they were going to remove the song from the catalog, and the other library accepted it. So it's you can move things around. One thing I would say that this is the pro of this: always have a backup plan. So whenever I make a track, it's like I might make a track for a library, but I have probably 10 other libraries I could submit to that would love to have this music. So always have a backup plan. Know where, if you're making a hip hop track, know where you can send those to with the libraries you work with. If you're making a pop track, know where you can send those. If I'm making a trailer track, I know where I can send those because I've worked with enough libraries now where if it doesn't work out with one, I can either make some tweaks or edits to try to get it to work with that one, or I can try to send it to another one. Now, if two or three libraries reject the same song or don't accept the same song, that's when I start revamping the songs. Like, okay, what is it about this song? Is it the singer? Is it the performance? Is it the recording? Is it the mixing? Is there something that's making this not acceptable by libraries? So after about two or three, if I leave everything the same, two or three rejections or so, I go back and revisit the actual song itself. But sometimes, it doesn't work for one library, but the same exact song and the same exact structure, same exact mix will work with another library. So that's the great thing about Sync is we have multiple opportunities. So yeah, you just never know. There's good and bad. There's ups and downs. It's a roller coaster with the sync space. I'm looking at my email now. I'm getting like briefs in for another library I work with. So my goal is to get briefs every day, and either trailer or sync. And of course, working on albums. Over the last week, I got 2 album placements with trailer, 7 on one trailer album, and then 1 on another trailer album. So 7 tracks on one track on another. So I'm working on my second trailer track for today because I do work full time in an office space, but on Mondays and Fridays, for the most part, we get to work from home. So on those days, I really dive in on the music that I need to create, and that's where I get most of my creation in. And then, of course, on the weekends, I do have a wife and kids also, so making sure that there's time there for them. And then I'm up all night making music, and then, driving to work, 3 days a week. So it's a grind until I can, fully focus on music 24/7. That is the ultimate goal. In addition, I am looking for more sponsors. Again, like I mentioned, this episode is sponsored by ASTS. Check the link in the description for 20% off some great sounds from ASTS. But I'm looking for sponsors, particularly to go to things that I want to go to, such as conferences. I'm setting up panels for a lot of conferences, a lot of big music conferences, but sometimes they don't they don't supply funding to get you there. So looking for corporate sponsors, whether it's music sponsors such as IK Multimedia, Isotope. You see some of that here in the back. Native Instruments, whoever's looking for great sponsors, happy to discuss what that could look like. And of course, I would make it really valuable for you. But it doesn't have to be music companies. It could also be any company. It could be clothing. It could be a car, car company. So if you're looking to sponsor a musician, traveling around and talking about your brand while doing music, I have a lot of ideas for whoever wants to pick up the sponsorship, and they will not be disappointed. So stay tuned for that. But speaking of panels, I'm working on panels for NAM. I just put together a panel for assistant AES with a panel that's coming up next month. So people are reaching out. So now I'm just trying to get to these places and get sponsors to go to these places. Thank you for checking out Syncrets To Success. Again, this is more about the downside. One of the downsides of Sync, asking to politely leave a library and to get your catalog back. And depending on the agreement you sign, they don't have to. They can be like, no, this music is ours. You signed an exclusive deal. We're going to keep it in our catalog, but you're free to go and never submit again, which is their prerogative because you signed the agreement. So I was fully prepared for that as well. And like I said, I didn't have like 1,000 tracks, 300 tracks with them. I only had 20 or maybe 15 or so. So it wasn't a huge loss on either one of our parts. But I like to think that they're losing a really great, artist, composer, and something that I was going to bring to their catalog in addition to the songs I already had. But again, hopefully the door is open to return to them in the future. They are a great platform, as I mentioned, but I won't mention who they are. It's just one of those things that happens. So that's all I got for you in this episode. I'm going to try to do maybe a couple days this week of the Syncrets To Success podcast. Let me know what you want to learn more about. The first 31 days, again, we're more focused on sync. I was going to do a couple days on trailer stuff. If you're interested in that, let me know in the comments, and happy to put together like a week or so of just focused on the trailer stuff. So let me know about that. And again, check the links in the description. Join the Facebook group, Syncrets To Success. Check out ASTS if you want to book a one-on-one consult to discuss trailers, networking, sync licensing, panel, anything. I'll have a link in the description for that as well. And I will see you in the next episode. All right. Peace.